Ohio, Ohio, Ohio gozaimasu. Welcome everybody back to the Life of the Party podcast. I'm your boy MC Ricky once again, and this is episode number 5, and I'm talking about the DJ City 10-year anniversary. Oh my goodness gracious, it was truly an honor and a privilege to be a part of that. It was happened in 2019. I'm skipping forward about 10 years from my previous episode. In 2009, I was, a host MC for the BMO Music Fest. I know I said I was going to get into the 2010 BMO Music Fest, but I'll get into that at a later date. I decided to go ahead and treat my 5th episode as a special occasion. So why not talk about the DJ City Japan 10-year anniversary? Now, there was a tour attached to this. We went to 3 different locations, 3 different venues. So this is going to be a 3-part episode, all right? It's a series, all right? The first part, I'm going to be talking about a BMO mix. And then I'm also going to be talking about the DJ bar and lounge in Shibuya called Rep. In the second part, I will be talking about Club Piccadilly in Osaka and the whole travel experience and what that was like being a part of it from my perspective. And then I will be talking about Warp Shinjuku, where the tour finally wrapped up and where it was a big, tremendous party on top of everything associated with the tour. So that's what I'm going to be doing. This is the first part, so let's go ahead and just get into it. But before I kind of get into it, just kind of want to give a little bit of a simplified version of what DJ City is. So if you go to djcity.com or if you download the app, you can see that basically they have a record pool for professional DJs to get their music. It's a place where DJs can get their music industry news as well as DJ equipment. So it's kind of a place more for them to congregate and get a lot of information and music, which is the most important thing when you're a DJ. You got to have the music, and on top of that, of course, you have to have the equipment. So that's basically what DJ City is. Now, they have teams of people that rep DJ City across the globe. I was lucky enough to be a part of, I say lucky enough, I guess I can't say lucky enough. You have to have some skill and some talent to be associated with DJ City. A little background as far as how I got involved with DJ City, just being a host MC over the years. I've been at a number of venues, and people from DJ City, they kind of took note of me, especially when I was at this one particular venue, Ishiazubu A-Life. I used to see them come in every once in a while. I'd be introduced to them. Not too much would come from it, but they were just, kind of watching and see how I conducted, how I hosted, how I engaged, how I interacted. Eventually, through a DJ that I knew who was a resident at A-Life, and I am a resident as well, there was this new spot that was opening up called Warp Shinjuku, and they asked, hey, do you think that you'd be available on particular nights at Warp Shinjuku? And I was like, which days? And they're like, oh, this day. I'm like, okay, all right. So DJ City has a regular party that happens at this venue. That's how I got affiliated with them. And the rest is kind of history, I guess, so to speak. So DJ City started back in 2009, obviously, seeing as that the 10-year anniversary party was in 2019 in October. So on October 13th, on a Sunday, we got together with BMO TV. Now, what is BMO TV? BMO TV basically in Japan is an internet streaming company, if I'm correct. It's basically they stream different types of TV, whether it's anime, whether it's sports, whether it's news. They have an audience for different categories. But every night, they have this slotted time on a particular channel within BMO TV, and it's called BMO Mix. And they have talented, smart, and just absolutely great DJs on every single night. And a lot of those DJs that I've worked with, I know, and I truly love and appreciate their support, and I respect them, and they respect me as well. I used to always log on and see what was going on with it, and I was always wondering, hey, I wonder if I'll ever get the opportunity to be on there. And yes, I did. Now, this wasn't the first time that I was part of the BMO Mix. So at this place, Warp Shinjuku, truthfully and honestly, the DJ City party happens every Wednesday. It's called DJ City Wednesday. So it's at, once again, Warp Shinjuku. At BMO TV, they have multiple studios. I'm pretty sure their main studio is in Shibuya, but they actually packed up everything and they took their show on the road and actually came to this place, Warp Shinjuku, and they set up really early. I want to say like 6, 7 o'clock or whatnot. It was a Japanese holiday the next day, so there was a ton of people at this venue. Usually I get there a little bit later on. As I've talked in previous episodes, you have in Japan, the night venues don't close up until about 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So people usually get there between 12 and 1 o'clock. But this particular venue, it actually opens up early. So they set up shop and they have cameras everywhere throughout the venue. They have multiple ones in the DJ booth. They have them throughout the crowd. Then they have mobile cameramen that go through the crowd and they videotape or they record. I say videotape. Am I showing my age when I say videotape? How many millennials, how many people out there even know what a tape is? Anyway, it's a pretty serious broadcast. And, I remember just going in and through the back and I saw just all the people behind just to make it work. And I was like, golly, man, that's a lot of work. They set up everything. I mean, it was really cool to see. But anyway, so that was my first experience with a Bama Mix. And what's unique about a Bama Mix is that it is live and, people log on whether they're on their computer, on their TV. I actually have an Apple TV at my home. I can download the app and I can watch it through my Apple TV. So I don't doubt if you had any other type of internet dongle that you could do the same. What's really unique is that it's more than just a watching experience. If you're logged on, you can go ahead and interact with the DJs or interact with the MC, and you can ask them questions, suggestions for different types of content. That's key to it. That's why a lot of people tune into it, because they're being engaged by the people they're seeing on the screen. Oh my gosh, that was a tremendous night. I think I lost my voice that night. Once again, I was there early and I used it all the way up because after the Bama Mix had wrapped up, then it was time for the actual event. Anyway, that's a little bit of background of what a Bama Mix is and what type of platform they provide. There was a specific lineup of DJs that were slated to be on this Bama Mix, which was a special edition of a Bama Mix. And the reason why is because if you ever heard of the Red Bull 3 Style competition, Red Bull 3 Style is a professional DJ competition. It started back in 2007, I believe, in Canada. They started to branch out, and then by 2010, it had gone global. No doubt it'll go global when, Red Bull is behind it. Basically, what happens is whichever countries that are involved in the Red Bull 3 Style competition, there's going to be one winner from that specific country. DJ City Japan basically booked all of the former winners of the Red Bull 3 Style DJ competition in Japan. So every single DJ for the Bama Mix special for the 10-year anniversary were all former Red Bull 3 Style champions. Oh my goodness. The lineup, you had DJ Iku, that's IKU. Go and look him up, DJ Iku. He has some outrageous and great content all over the internet, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, or other things that he uses to push himself. DJ City Japan does a great job of pushing him, but he's just really skilled and talented. Also one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. I remember after the tour was wrapped, he told me, good and great work, keep in touch. I'm like, okay, all right. I mentioned DJ Iku. He's actually on the official flyer. He's the first person that's there. And the reason why is because he was the first ever Japan 3 Style Red Bull champion. So in the inaugural year that it went global in 2010, DJ Iku won for Japan. And then he went to the world final. So DJ Iku was there. You also had DJ 8-Man. DJ 8-Man, I've worked with him before this. Once again, this Bama Mix special happened in 2019, so we're a little over a year removed from it. But DJ 8-Man is a really skilled and talented DJ as well. I've worked with him previously when I was with my promotion group, SPE, like I mentioned before in previous episodes. One thing that I took from him is that, he has just a tremendous sense of energy. And his energy is contagious, I tell you, and I kid you not. If you are ever in a night venue or a club in a setting where he is DJing, if you're just staying up in the corner and you're just kind of just like, yeah, I guarantee you, if you pay attention to him when he spins, you will not be on that corner for much longer because he truly rocks. And I've seen DJs, over the years who can rock, but, just the level of precise accuracy that he has when he's rocking. Sometimes people can kind of lose control and might hear a skip or the music might not come on cue the right way. He turns up. He really turns up. And also he will grab the mic as well. There is no shyness about him. He's not quiet. He knows exactly what he's doing and he is there to put on a show. DJ Ren, another skilled and talented DJ, former Red Bull 3 Style champion. Every time I say Red Bull 3 Style, I feel like it's a tongue twister. So just bear with me if I say it. There's a little pause. Because every time, even when I'm emceeing, it's funny, like when I'm emceeing, I can just say it just just say it, right? But in just a casual conversation, which I'm basically treating this podcast is, it's kind of difficult. I'm like, Red Bull 3 style, Red Bull 3 style, Red Bull 3 style. Got it. All right, there we go. DJ 8-Man, DJ Ren, I worked with them on a outside event at a military installation one time. We booked by a good friend of mine who also used to book me at Yokohama Bay Hall. I actually had a DJ competition at the military installation, and they were, featured as two former, Red Bull 3 style Japan champions. So it was really nice to see them scratching and getting at each other during that event. DJ B-Ball, who is from Osaka, and that was the first time I had met him, a producer. Once again, like I said, a talented DJ. He's really cool too. It was really good to chalk it up with him when we went down to Osaka. DJ Yuki, and then you had DJ Fumi, and then you also had DJ Rena, and DJ Rena, talented, great, smart DJ. She was actually the first woman to win the Red Bull 3 style Japan championship, and she won that, I believe, in 2017. And I used to see DJ Rena every week because we had the same residency at this particular venue I mentioned before, Nishiya's with A-Life. So we were on different floors, but every once in a while, if I got a break, if she got a break, we would go upstairs or downstairs and then kind of see each other, chalk it up. And that was really cool. And I really like listening to her spin on the records, man. I'm telling you, that was basically who was at Abema Mix. Started at 1900 all the way up until 2400. All right. So this is just to kick it off. After 12 a.m. in the morning, then we went to the DJ Bar and Lounge Rep, which is in Shibuya. But a little bit just to speak about my experience as, going to Abema Mix. So we were pretty much, I believe, in the main studio. I took the train there from my home in Fusa, and I got there a little bit before, I'd say about 30 minutes or so before 7 o'clock. One of the managers for DJ City, Suga, man, love that dude, man. He's cool as hell, dude. He's just really cool. He's helped me out so much, man. He meets me outside, and then the staff is there, very polite, and bow. They give you your badge so you can go ahead and get buzzed in. Yeah, we took an elevator up to another floor. DJ City has this open area that's reserved. So you have the main open area, right? You walk in there, and then there's a refrigerator. You have the infamous Abema water. I'll put a picture of it in one of these locations here. You can see what it is. It's like famous. And then there was a pizza there. They went to this local pizzeria or restaurant, and they had a pizza made, and it had DJ City Japan 10-year anniversary inscribed into it. So that was really cool. We tore that up a little bit later afterwards because I was just starving. It wasn't because they didn't feed me. It's just because later on I was like, man, I need to get something to eat. Being there just before 7 o'clock. What's really neat about Abema Mix, all expenses paid. They do a really good job of taking care of you, make sure you're comfortable, because all these DJs are here. These are professional DJs. Like, this is what they do. This is more than just a hobby. This is their craft. This is their art. They are artists. Shout out to genre Bender, headed by Choji. Choji is a really nice and great individual. He loves music. He loves DJs. He loves the atmosphere that DJs put everybody in, and he really enjoys pushing DJs to really, get their message across. He has a true passion for doing that. And, I think a lot of people love and respect him. I definitely love and respect him for that. So big shout out to Choji. There's some merch there. I'm actually wearing this merch right here. DJ City Japan, 10-year anniversary. Music makes it all better is what it says on the back side. I'm also wearing today, Great DJ, Great Party. This is also from the DJ City Japan 10-year anniversary. And on the back, it has names of all of the DJs associated with the 10-year anniversary tour. And looking at the shirt on the back, it actually, there's letters from the actual DJ's names. When you read it from left to right, top to bottom, it actually says music makes it all better as you go from left to right all the way down. That's a really unique design that really works. Of course, the merch is there. They said, oh, you don't have to wear it. Come on now. If we don't have to wear it, I'm not going to be the one that ain't going to wear this. Plus, that merch is dope. I'm wearing it right now. Look how honored and privileged I am. Shoot. I think I'm not going to wear this. I'm going to put this dang thing on, bro. There was also like a bento box. Everybody knows what a bento is, right? Basically, it's a lunchbox. And a lot of Japanese people eat on a regular basis. I actually do eat it on a regular basis as well. It's very healthy and it's very filling, and it gets you ready, and it got me ready for what I was about to do, because I was fitting to use my voice from 7 until 12 a.m. And then after that, from 12 a.m. until 5 a.m. So Needless to say, I need to make sure I had the energy, and I made sure I had plenty of Abema water because I was going to need it. All right? I had to make sure I had the energy, all right? So just before you get downstairs, there's TV monitors in there. Have the live feed on the TVs there so you can see what's going on. You know what's coming up. Anyway, we get downstairs, and I'm talking to Suga. You know, I was like, okay, so how am I going to MC this? Because it's one thing to be in a club setting and be a host MC. You know, you can kind of pick and choose when to engage and how to interact and know what to say and whatnot. But I honestly, except for a few other DJs, I don't have a rapport with them at all. Now, some would say I have a rapport with music in general. There's just a reason why I'm there. So it was a challenge to, you know, kind of figure out how we're gonna go about me emceeing for these professional competition style DJs. While the live stream is going on, they're scratching, they're doing all these different types of DJ techniques that I gotta be careful not to talk over while they're doing it. So I'm not touching the crossfader, not touching that thing, okay? Basically, I just told the sound engineers who were in another room, it's like, hey, just make sure my mic is up. I know when to come in. If it's too high or if it's too low, you guys can adjust the levels. I trust you to do it. That's your job. Everyone knows specifically what they're supposed to do. All I have to do is just walk in and make sure I do it. I have to make sure that I have enough energy because I have a camera on me the entire time I'm there. We did the sound check. DJs had already been there before they did their sound check. I know, once again, from the BMO Music Fest and other venues that I've done over the years, more than 10 years in at this time, I know what my voice sounds like. I know what needs to be done. I've seen a Bema Mix live before. I'm ready to do this. Of course, I'm not going to MC the entire set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be at the head of their set to introduce them, let them do their thing. I'll come in towards the end, and then I introduce the next DJ. Each DJ had like a 40-minute set or so. So I'd be on for maybe 10 to 15 minutes of each one of their sets. And then when I wasn't there, that's when they can go ahead and do their things. When I first started, the latest winner, he didn't know who I was. Like, he heard of me, but he didn't really know how good of an MC I was. And maybe he knew how good I was, but like I said, the rapport just wasn't there. And I could tell that he's had experiences where there's a lapse in communication where he was spinning and then the MC said something and messed up what he was trying to do, or it took away from the experience he's trying to give to the people. You need to make sure that it goes on the way that the DJ intends. I already knew what I had to do, but he kind of reinforced it. He came out, I introduced him, and then he gave me kind of like the hand, just kind of like, hey, just give me some time. And then he went into this like whole soliloquy of just amazing, talented technique. He did that, and I just stood there. I'm like, dang, I mean, how do I look with my jaw open? Like, when I realized, okay, I got his timing down. I kind of learned it in that short amount of time. All right, I know how to come in and what to expect from him. Then I just came in and I started emceeing, started hyping up the music. This is the former winner from this year, that year. And I just did that process of elimination from one DJ all the way to the next. I would take a break because, once again, I wouldn't stay on for the entire set. Who wants to see the MC for the entire set? I just come on, introduce, stay there for a little bit, get it rocking, keep it rocking, leave, come back, say thank you to that DJ, introduce the next one, do the same thing, and keep it moving. But I would take a break. I'd go upstairs and drink some water. I was using my voice and changing it. One thing about an MC I've mentioned before is that, you know, you gotta know how to fill space. The timing is like jumping rope. You gotta know when to come in. You gotta know when to get out. But one thing also is that there are levels to an MC. You should be able to change the variation and the tone of your voice. You don't want to sound the same all the time. That's what I try to do. And I think people really like that I do that. Now, doing that, you use your voice a lot more and you can lose it very quickly if you're not drinking water and if you're not prepared. So I'm pretty much well reserved and I'm quiet and stuff like that. But on top of that, I'm even more quiet before I start a venue. And part of the reason that is because I don't want to lose my voice. I use it a lot. Of course, we're in different times right now. We're in challenging times, so I'm unable to be out there at the moment. While I'm putting this content out there, I'll tell you, there'll be 3-4 days a week for a month. Consecutive days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Consecutive days I'll be using my voice, and I just had to make sure I take care of it. So people are like, he don't say much. You dang right, I don't say much. Now I know how singers feel. Goodness gracious. The voice is gone. You can't do anything. You can't. I mean, it's just like, well, all right. I didn't mention this particular DJ, but I should have mentioned him earlier. And I have a unique experience with this DJ, and that's because I mentioned this particular individual previously in another episode, Jiro Tokyo. He managed a party back at this venue called Warehouse 702, where people used to go for hip hop every Wednesday in the Roppongi Night District. It was really successful, so the venue, gave him the reins, I guess, to kind of do other types of parties or whatnot. So he started this other party with another notable DJ. He's another person who's helped push me, giving me more exposure, another talented and great DJ. A lot of people know him in Japan specifically and around the world as well. DJ Hoto. It's kind of like a senpai of mine. I have a number of senpais, but he put a good word in for me when this particular venue, Ishiazu A-Life, they wanted to book me, but they wanted to get the recommendation of somebody that I have worked with who has a lot of respect. That's how it is in Japan. So they went to him, he gave the thumbs up, and I started emceeing at this venue. But anyway, big shout out to DJ Hoto, and there are some other DJs there as well. DJ Irwan, who's a notable and great, kind of actually famous DJ from Amsterdam. He was part of this event every once in a while, and it was called Dirty Dimension. There's one DJ there that would kind of blow my mind every time he came up and he would spin. And this is kind of one of the first times where I kind of started to jump outside of the hip hop circle that I was in. Dirty Dimension, played different types of music, different types of genres. So it was really neat and cool to see and be a part of that as an MC. So I would MC. Jiro's also an MC. DJ Shintaro. DJ Shintaro, that should ring a bell to a lot of DJs, or ring a bell to just a lot of people who are fans of DJs or just music in general in Japan, because DJ Shintaro won the Red Bull 3 Style in 2013 in Japan. Then he went on to the World Red Bull 3 Style Championships, and he won the entire thing in 2013. So there was a certain sense of satisfaction that I got for him and for myself, because I was like, man, I used to work with him or work alongside him, and I used to MC, when he was DJing, and when he would spin, he would just be so explosive with the music and everything. But he was very talented. Of course, you got to be talented to just be associated with that type of venue, and then just to win Red Bull 3 Style in Japan, and then to represent your nation, where you grew up, where people know you, where you love your culture and everything. To go and win the World 3 Style Red Bull Championships, that was, oh my goodness gracious. I think a lot of people at that time felt like they won, because he represented just, all the hard work and effort that put into all the parties, to all the music that was being spit out and everything. So he won in 2013, and then from there, of course, bam, just blew up. Basically, a lot of festivals, he was there. Shintaro was there. So you can look up DJ Shintaro. He has a lot of good content out there as well. But yeah, DJ Shintaro was there. Keep in mind that the kickoff party at Rep in Shibuya started at 10 o'clock. So we had to filter through the DJs at Abima Mix, and then those DJs had to go ahead to Shibuya and get ready for the kickoff party at that venue. So at the intermission time, they had all the DJs basically line up, and they went on and had like their own 30-40 second of time where they were just scratching and doing their thing, and then they would just move on from DJ to DJ, and they kept on circling around. I forgot how long it was for, but it was for a pretty good amount of time. Just the amount of hits and amount of people who were watching at that time when every single DJ was lined up was amazing. And I actually was like, you know what? This is their time. Once again, I'm an MC. I'm a talented MC. I do the best that I can, but I know when it's like, okay, you know what? This is their time. I don't need to be out there. The one in the space anyway. It was funny because 8-Man, when I went upstairs and I was just kind of taking a break while they were doing it, 8-Man grabbed the mic. He was just like, Ricky, where's Ricky at? He kept on saying it. He's like, no. Where you at, bro? You got to come. You got to come down here. So I went down there and I grabbed my phone. I started recording him and stuff like that. And then I started touching the mic a little bit. But I was like, man, this is y'all time. I said, plus there ain't no dang space in here. And it's like, we make space. I'm like, okay, all right. But big shout out to them. So you had every single DJ that lined up, did their thing during that short stint. It was Iku, 8-Man, Shintaro, Ren, B-Ball, Yuki, Rina, Fumi, and then I slid in there towards the end and showed my face. But one more time, the dynamic for a Bima mix is truly amazing because, like I said, it's set up like a DJ booth, and then you have somebody from the camera crew who comes in every once in a while and has just a free camera. They record you, and then they have the sound engineers and the video people and behind the scenes, and they're switching, of course, back and forth between the different screens. So they have a camera directly in front where you can see the DJ right up, you can see the MC, again, wide angle cameras, and once again, like I mentioned, they have the free camera that comes up, and then they have a place where you can see the live feed. So when you see the live feed, you can see all the comments that people are writing, and there'll be something like, I'm known for saying Ohio, so if I say Ohio, somebody would be like, hey, say Ohio again, or where are you going on Friday, or, you know, congratulations on DJ City Japan, or they would ask, would have said DJ a question, and then on top of that, their message boards, you can go ahead and write down something, and then, like, say if you're a DJ, you come in and say, hey, what song should I play next? So there's ways to engage with the crowd that is not there, they're online watching. What is unique about this main studio in Shibuya is that you have the studio there with the DJ booth, and there's a glass there, and you're actually looking outside of the building, and, you know, depending on the DJ or the time or, you know, what is actually being promoted, you'll have a crowd out there just looking inside, watching the show go on. Now I feel more like in a club setting. It was a DJ City Japan 10-year anniversary, so obviously there were people outside watching. But while it is the responsibility of the MC and the DJ to, you know, kind of guide people through the party and through the event, sometimes you get a sense of energy from those people that you see because they're just so excited. So big shout out to all those who were outside that window just watching. Truly appreciated all the hard work and effort that was put in by those DJs every single day of their life. I mean, like I mentioned before, that is their craft. But we wrapped up the staff that was there for Abema TV. They thanked all of us. Me and Suga, the DJ City Japan manager, were the last people to leave. And Shintaro, we actually all got into a taxi and we went to rep in Shibuya. But the staff thanked me. They actually reached out to DJ City Japan and asked about booking me in the future because they liked my style, my timing, and what I brought to the show overall. So they were wanting to book me, and which I ended up being booked there after that. So it worked out in my favor during that time. But we all got into a taxi, once again, me, Suga, and Shintaro. One thing I mentioned before, I think I mentioned it before, Bima TV, all expenses paid. They take care of you. You know, they'll pay for wherever you need to go as far as the taxi is concerned. We're in Shibuya, that's where the studio's at. It wasn't that far. And the DJ Bar and Lounge rep is actually near the Shibuya crossing. If you know the Shibuya crossing, it's just amazing to see just how many people cross there like every couple of minutes whenever those stoplights go from green to red. It's a smaller venue, but like I mentioned before in a previous episode when I was talking about Club Harlem, a lot of people go there and they really truly appreciate the music being played. They take to the DJs that are spinning. So once again, every single DJ that was at the Bima Mix collaboration with DJ City Japan for the tour was at rep. So basically they did a routine just like they did during the live stream, and every single DJ that was there did their thing. Now there was one added DJ, and that was DJ Dope Onigiri. Shout out to Oni, man. That dude's dope, man. He's cool. He's cool as heck. I'll talk a little bit about how we chopped it up when we went to Osaka. But yeah, DJ Dope Onigiri was there. We got up in there. Once again, I mentioned smaller venue, tremendous crowd, a lot of people there having fun. A lot of people showed up who watched the stream live just to see the DJs in person. We had a small little VIP in the back where we could kind of chill out. We were just talking about the future, how this tour is going to be going to Osaka, and then later on wrapping it up in Warp Shinjuku. There was more pizza. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we demolished that pizza. I had more than a few slices of that DJ City Japan pizza. I think we actually brought it with us. We ate it, I think we were eating it, and then we brought it with us, and then we destroyed it in the back. By this time, my voice is dang near, I won't say almost gone, but almost. We get there like a little bit after 12 o'clock, and once again, we're gonna be there until, oh my goodness, almost 5 a.m. I've never seen so much Ciroc in my life in the DJ booth. Oh my gosh. Okay, I take that back. When I talk about part 2 at Club Piccadilly, that's probably the most Ciroc that I've seen. That's probably the most Ciroc that I've seen. And I love me some vodka, man. I love me some vodka. Behind the DJ booth, I was just like, damn, who's all this Ciroc for? This for us? Choji looked at me like, yeah, happy anniversary. At the Abima mix, nobody was drinking. Everybody was just drinking the water. So once we got there in that club setting and things started to get a little loosey-goosey, but still, all the DJs are still very precise, very accurate, still providing an awesome experience for everybody who was there. I was honored to do what I was doing earlier before, just being a part of the party, adding to it what I can add to it as far as being an MC. And that was a tremendous experience. Things wrapped up around 5 a.m. You think it'd be all done? No. Then we went to an after party in Shibuya. So once again, it was a tremendous time at Rep. In a nutshell, Rep was a great time. I was able to MC and do my thing and continue to add to the whole overall atmosphere of the party and the general feeling of what DJ City Japan 10-year anniversary was about. I felt right at home at Rep because Rep was all about that hip hop, and not to take anything away from any other genre. I can MC any type of music, any type of genre. But as I mentioned, episode number 1, I got my music experience and my rhythm and my flow from hip hop. It continued to grow over the years. It feels good to go back in that circle every once in a while. Some of the DJs did spin other types of genres there, but for the most part, it was a hip hop based event. So that was really neat and really cool. And if you ever get a chance to go to Rep in the future, I highly suggest that you go because the music is great, the people there are really cool, and you'll have a fun time. And it's in Shibuya. This was just the start. Once again, this was part 1. This is a 3-part series of my 5th episode of Life of the Party podcast with MC Ricky. Once again, shout out to all the DJs, shout out to genre vendors, shout out to DJ City Japan, everybody involved, the venues. It was a tremendous experience being a part of a Bema mix. All you have to do is look them up. You can find content each and every day for the most part. As far as DJs are concerned, a lot of my friends are residents on there. They do a fantastic job. I watch them. Hopefully I get back out there soon. But that's about it for part 1 of episode number 5, DJ City Japan 10-year anniversary tour. I was lucky enough and privileged to be a part of as a MC. Part 2 and part 3 are coming up. But once again, like I always say, Otsukare sama deshita. I'll see you guys in the future. Ohayo. Ohayo. Ohayo gozaimasu.